Okay, so a couple weeks ago I was asked to go and do a demonstration at the Connecticut Blacksmiths Guild. And of course I said, yes, I'll go do it. And I threw it up to the group as far as what they would want to see for demonstration, and they actually picked a thumb latch. So I decided that I would actually make an arrow pattern thumb latch, which is what we've got here. And so anyways, I was able to forge out half of it and explain to them the process that goes on. This was basically an hour. This took me an hour to get to this point from starting with that original raw material. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to finish this up. I'm going to run through and finish up this side and then show how you actually get to that point. Okay, so now that we have gotten this up to temperature, we actually work on the face of it. So this is actually the face of it, and the reason why we do that is we're trying to form a shoulder here. And that shoulder is actually what creates the bend part. So we're going to start right here. We're going to start by drawing it out. I'm actually going to start by pushing towards my weak side, which is the side that's furthest away from me. For me, it's different for everybody, but I'm going to basically start by pushing the material away. So we have a strong side and a weak side. That strong side or weak side, this is my strong side because I can pull harder than I can actually push. And again, all I'm doing is peen it, and I'm going to peen it in one direction. I'm going to try to put the material where it belongs. Try to keep it even. Ever so slightly to pull it into that corner. There we go. Before we get too long, I'm actually come in and just put this back a little bit. But we want to be careful about deforming it too much. This starts getting a little thin. On the anvil, I'm just going to give myself a little outline. Gives me some idea of where I'm going to with the cusp. Like so. Again, a little bit more. So this is much easier when all this is straighter, but I really wanted to get to this point, and it took me, like I said, an hour to get to this point, a little over an hour. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're actually going to move to the back side of it, and we're going to start working from here. Now the reason why we do that is because we're trying to smooth out the front of the face. So we're actually working and smoothing out the front part, which we've already distorted with all these peen marks. You can see that they're starting to go away as I'm working. The reason why we're doing that is we're creating a shoulder right here, and that shoulder is where we're going to bend it at. You're going to have to forgive me if I sound all nasally and stuff. I've had a cold. Pull that over and down. Pretty good. Pull this over and down. Okay, that's pretty good. You need just a little bit of length to it now. See, almost all the hammer marks are gone now on this side. so we're almost there. Just going to pull the tip out just a little bit more. So now I'm going to switch to a little bit wider peen. Correction. More. It's all pretty centered. Make sure almost all my hammer marks are gone. Pretty good. Good. Work the size. So now I'll do is I'll come back in and clean this up with the rasp and level it off some. Okay, so what we're doing now is we're just going to clean this up a little bit with the hot rasp. You want to be careful now with the hot rasp because this will shoot up pretty quick. Yeah, just pretty thin. You know, just cleaning it up. So that's pretty good, right on the money there. Yep, good. I'm going to level up the bottom now. Go. Round that off. so there's the extra cusp. Anytime you're working with a big flat like this, you got to be really careful of your eyes, because when you hit it, that scale has a tendency to pop off. Okay, so now what we're going to do is just come in, just do a little bit of hot rasping on it. Okay, we can get it to stay in there. So, stand it up some. But that's okay, that'll work. Okay, so with a good heat, my peen hammer, we're going to come in right at the base of that shoulder that we applied earlier. We're going to bend it a little bit and then start hitting right at the very bottom, right where we want that bend to really be pronounced. And we want to come back in. And right at the very bottom here, we want to fix that so there it's actually a nice 90. So there's our thumb ledge bent. Got to do a little bit of tweaking to it now. You can see how that nicely, how that shoulder sit right in there now. Again, fix this side. Pretty good. I'm looking for is I'm looking for alignment. I'm actually looking for alignment here, but also alignment here. But I want this to be really comfortable to the hand, and I don't want it turned one way or the other. Now what happens, we just give a little bit tweaking just to give a little bit of hollow in the handle. Or I should say a little bit of hollow in the cusps. And then we're going to come in and one more time. Bang. Okay, good. Tweaking there, good. Handle it out. Give it another wire brush. Each cusp. There you have it. There, sit there. That looks good. So now what I'll do is I'm actually going to punch the hole here. And that's done cold. So when we come in here and we look at the thumb latch, ideally we want to put our hand on it, and then we want to go where the femur would basically be. I usually don't mark it out, but just so you guys can see, it's nice if you can sketch it out some, and then narrow it down. Ideally we're looking for them to be in line. So what we're looking for is if we go all the way through the center. So, kind of a hard thing to see, but if we go strictly through the center, go down here, there, to there, we go through here, to the center, we go here. These should line up. So if we're at the center here and we go to here, they should line up. Again, there's going to be some variation because of the handle, but it basically will go from here to there, to the tip, we'll go down through. This is kind of cool. So again, if I'm here, I mark here, and then I come to the center of the handle on the bottom, and I mark from here to here, and I go like that. That's a little bit off the bottom. Let's get rid of that. Let's see. From there to there. Ooh. So if we go all the way across, if we go from center to center, it should line up basically in the middle. So that's what we're looking for when we actually come through the center here. You can actually, if you just go from the center here, and then put that hole smack dab in the middle. So just about like that. I like about a ½ inch from, well, really not a ½ inch, more like, let's see, more like about 3/8 of an inch from the bottom. 1/4 inch, 3/8 of an inch from here up. You want enough clearance that when you do the thumber, that it's going to actually activate. So the top is going to be up here somewhere. What I do now is I open the vise just enough for my punch to fit through. Down there, I use a really light hammer, so there I can give it more of a speedy hit instead of a solid blow. I line up the edge to the middle, front part to the middle, and I give it a good whack. And then I check. I want to make sure that I'm in alignment. You see I'm slightly out of alignment, so then I just give it a little bit of a turn. I do the same thing. And I do it again. Okay, once you're through, you can actually feel it, and that's what you're going to end up with. Now you can just snap that off. Like so. Now I'm going to come in and rasp that off just a little bit. And then we're going to flatten it out. Actually, I like that one kind of where it is. I'm going to do a little bit more. So this hot rasping, this rasping on the back of it, is actually what controls the size of the opening. There we go. I come back over and I flatten it just a little bit. Like so. And I come back over here one more time and I go in from the back side. Now I go in from the back side. Just like so. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come in, and you can wait to do this, but I'm going to do it now. So I'm actually going to lay out my 3 punch holes. And this is all pretty much by preference, as far as what are you looking for. I like to have, like if this was a circle, I like to have this almost in the center of it. Same thing here, almost in the center. That's good. And here I do the same thing. Same thing. Here, right here. So these are all punched cold. And they're actually punched from the front backwards. So I like a nice sharp punch. And the punch block, I usually do this on my pinto block, which is what I use for making hinges. We'll do it on here today, just simply because I'm filming. So again, I want to, as I'm doing this, I'm verifying where the holes are. One. Again. Two. I like to hold my punches or chisels right at the very end, and I actually look here. I'm not looking here, I'm actually looking here. That way there I can actually see if something changes. That's good. So under the pieces that aren't snapped off the back, with my scroll times, I just pick them off. So here now you can see them all punched through. Now I actually go to the hot and I hot rasp it, but it's actually rasped cold. Again, setting size. about doing them this way is that once it's flattened out, you can see that that nail now is kind of loose. The neat thing is that when these are flattened, what I'm going to do right now, you can actually see that they're actually a little bit thinner. So why that's that neat is that when the nail goes in, when the nail actually goes in, it can actually push some of that metal out of the way, and it'll actually make for a tighter fit. So come back in, check it, you can see it bowed a little bit when I come to it and get it. So just do that a little bit. Good. So now you can see the nail is kind of tight, but because the metal is so thin in that area, that when it goes through, it'll actually kind of lock in against the cusp. Okay, so there's the handle. Now what we're going to do is just give this a quick, you can see how smooth it is. We're going to give this just a quick filing. That's good. Got a little bit. Job on the inside. There we have it. If you want to, you can give it a little bit of clean it up, a fire brush. Spacing and my distancing, angle. Come on my chainsaw file and do it this way then. I didn't like the way the other one was cutting. Just a little bit too coarse. I want them to be pretty sharp at the base. Now that we got all that work done, we're actually going to take and heat it up and make it all uniform color now. Now, this part is done. I just put some latch on it. little bit of wax. This particular wax is a scented wax. It is from Yankee Candle Company. I don't put my maker's mark into any of the thumb latches. I always put them in the thumber.